P makes that point. You put it in the chat, and I'm going Wall Street is the biggest gangsters for real,
big time.
Cause they not gonna let you niggas get money for real like that.
Hey, no bullshit. That had me take all of my investments out. Like I sold all my shit off the principle of what Robinhood did.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like that was complete bullshit.
And this is not a knock to you. This is not a knock to no one, because I'm glad you actually did something. I'm glad you actually had some action behind it. Everybody else was just talking, and my confusion is in and around wealth doing what wealth does. This ain't, oh, everybody gets some. This not how that shit work. And so what made me proudest, what made me happiest is like every function we went to, every party we went to, even every meetup we went to, somebody was trying to put somebody on about stocks and investments. We went to Vegas when we were finishing Blood Ties. Freak and I went back for the release, and we went and had a meeting. We went to meet about something completely different, and the whole meeting turned into Freak leading the room in and about investments, and I've never been more impressed. Never been more impressed, because he knew his shit. And shout out to the Reddit gangsters, doing their thing, going, oh, we can beat the system, because they can. The system is mad fucking vulnerable. Somebody did it, and they're like, nah, y'all not gonna get money cheating, because we the only ones that can get money cheating. How you think this? Nah, this don't work like that for y'all. And I have a hard time being mad at folks doing what they do, what they've been doing, what they always gonna do, versus going, all right, we hit a lick. Now that we see what time it is, can we not just put our bread together and not fuck with them at all? But it's like, nah. Back to P's point with Clubhouse, it's like, it's these little lessons don't be enough for whatever. And I'm like, yo, when is it gonna be enough for the majority? I'm not even asking for everybody to wake up, but I'm just asking for the majority to wake up, come fuck with your people, because there's plenty of bread for us. There's plenty of opportunity. There's plenty of creative ways. I'm not talking about investing in no fucking rappers, fuck that. I'm talking about generating actual wealth and building actual systems and infrastructure and curriculum and education to really shift how our dollar is distributed and then how it's grown. Right? I don't know, man. How did you clearly felt the way, because you acted. Can you walk me through the timeline? Because I know what my timeline was, and I was just watching it. Mm-hmm. How real time was all the information for you in comparison to your actions and shit, and what you eventually ended up doing?
Real time. The actual like the whole GameStop thing was whatever, because of course, like I'm not one of the billionaires, so I wasn't short stocking the idea. So like I wasn't on that one. I did have a initial idea just about AMC before this whole thing took place. Yeah. To put money into AMC off the simple fact that I knew theaters were going down, and I thought of AMC as a large enough brand that if it ever recovered, that AMC would be the one to jump off with. Fact. If anything was going to happen. So like as theaters were downtrodden and going out of business, AMC was a big enough brand that if there was just a shot in the dark on a company, it would be AMC. So with that being the case and having bread in that and that shit shooting up, that shit was dope. Even if it was like something that was like fake, you know what I mean? Like which is, a lot of this shit is, you can't see it anyway, so it is what it is. But that shooting up was dope. It was a lot sooner than I thought it would be, so that was dope or whatever. But to stop it because of like how everything was going or whatever was interesting to me, and was a good time to pull out, but was also eye-opening on just playing the game in general, because my idea has always been that I get it, like the like investing in your own and doing that and other, like it's a great idea, but the thing about it is just like the some of the fear in it, you would say, is that people have been down for so long that when you finally start to do like come together and invest in each other, some of the corruption that can take place from being down for so long, you know what I mean? So and when you're dealing with like your everything you got, dealing with corruption is a little bit different in a corrupt situation already. I'm not talking about new corruption. I'm talking about this thing has been corrupt for hundreds of years. You know what I mean? Like the time has been endless on corruption on that one, but at least you know how corruption plays in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can play around with that one. You can play around with the current rules. You know, the current rules in place. But on this particular situation, man, like even if it was foul ball from like the lower going up, it was still something like, okay, now what is your play? You know what I mean? Because if you've been corrupt this entire time, what is your play now? And if your play is just to halt and change as far as like regulation goes, then it lets me know you pussy for real.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And like
because y'all the last niggas that want more regulations, because y'all been fucking
fucking around. You feel me? So you real pussy. You know, like I knew you was pussy, but
you just confirmed it.
You confirmed the pussiness in it. So let me pull this out.
Yeah.
Let me take the winnings that I got.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then see where I want to take it from there.
Yeah.
But that part right there was was my last piece like I needed as far as like understanding wise on like just who I'm dealing with. You know what I mean? Like because I've been getting so many clues throughout life on who the fuck I'm dealing with. You know what I mean? But like it's not a matter of like how many times can you touch your stove until you realize that this motherfucker's hot. It's not that. It's that, nigga, I've built up a level of fucking, I can touch a stove all fucking day and understand how hot this motherfucker is.
Yeah.
But is this motherfucker me? You know what I mean? Like, is this stove as bad as I am? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like how it, like the tug and pull that we're having. And in this particular situation, it was like, oh, y'all not. And that shit, I don't want to say it hurts my soul, but it's more so like, it's like, bro, like, cause y'all been bluffing for so long.
Yeah.
Like the bluff is nuts to me. So it just makes you pull your shit out and then think a little different.
But you said it. Money ain't real.
That's not real at all.
No. Money ain't real. This proves it, right? Yeah. Like if people didn't believe it before, this proves that. Lex, no?
Yeah, that's how I looked at it. I looked at it like, oh, now that I feel like whoever they are, they're like, oh, you motherfuckers found a way to get this type of money. Let's pause real quick, and we'll figure out a new way to make a different type of currency. And that's where my head goes.
So money's not real. But money is real to people that is in the process of making money. You know what I mean? Like people that are on the come up, that money is very fucking real. You know what I mean? But to them, money's not fucking real. It's just bro, the cold part was fucking the owner of the Mets. Like him going through the shit that he was going through, because he started receiving death threats because he's one of the billionaires that was short stocking this GameStop situation. And the fans and like the people that follow the Mets or whatever was getting at him about can he pay the payroll for the Mets? With this latest, little thing, whatever, right? And he was like, yes, I was pissed off. I'm pissed off about it right now. Like he was emotionally driven by this little situation because it shorted him. But bro, he's worth 14 billion. So like it was like in the moment of him like overreacting to this day that he lost money on, he snapped back into it and was like, "What? How do you figure that the payroll has anything to do with the toilet paper I just lost?" That's the way that he snapped back into focus on that shit, right?
Yeah.
That's how money is played around with. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it isn't for like the billionaires. Yeah, they're pissed off, whatever. It's only because they've never lost. You know what I mean?
And
so that's what it is.
So
They've lost, but they haven't. You know, lost when it was a short thing. They have never done that. This was a fucking short thing for them.
So for me, this entire pandemic, and I haven't said this because it's still, even to this day, as I'm about to say it right now, it does feel like a thought I need to be responsible with and responsible for and careful with. But I can't help but keep feeling like the pandemic is a direct attack on new wealth, and by that I mean
The poor in their eyes.
yeah, like
Because new wealth is still the poor in their eyes.
Exactly.
It's the same thing as the Great Gatsby. Like you dealing with the nigga that just got money, still is somebody that you can emotionally fuck with.
Yeah.
As old money. Like you can still press buttons on new money.
Exactly. And so that's what I'm having a hard time with, and as a pandemic unfolds, from LA and their mandates, from the new CDC shit. It's like the CDC is mandating that masks be masks are mandated on public transportation, airplanes. I'm like, that hadn't been the case. Like, why is that just now being mandated now? If nigga, I didn't flown through the pandemic and you had to have your mask on. I thought. So now it's actually mandated. What the fuck is going on? And in LA, you can't. They're back to outdoor seating, but they can't have TVs on as a means to not have people congregate as a direct response to fucking the Super Bowl. What, fam? What's going on? Because it's still is the which vaccines to get, the what is it down at Dodger Stadium? They were offering fucking vaccines, and a bunch of right wingers went and blocked that whole shit off, so they had to shut it down. What the fuck is happening, people? None of it makes sense, and economically, there's only a few people that are protected from an insurance standpoint and just being able to earn, but all the people that was getting it off the grid technically, and it's a lot of this entertainment money that the government have a hard time keeping up with and accounting for if we being real about it. So back to the initial conversation.
The only reason why people was getting life in prison when it came to when weed was not legal was only because there was no way to get money off the people that was getting money away from normal work. Like it has nothing to do with the drug. They made a war on the drug, but it has zero to do with that. It has to do with you making money without them being able to get money from you.
That's it. Did y'all watch the new crack documentary on Netflix?
No, I haven't seen
that. So y'all probably like, bro, how many more of these do we need? Right? I imagine that's kind of the thinking in and around it.
Nah, the trailer looked dope. I just haven't got to it.
When y'all watch it, so let me tell on myself then. My thing is, I don't need to watch another. I didn't seen all the shit. I'm watching Snowfall. What more can you tell me? Bullshit. They figured out a whole nother
economics.
But even that, G, to a certain point, I thought I understood the economics thoroughly.
How thorough it is.
It's so thorough. Now they got the CIA agents sitting down telling and being hella casual about it. Oh, we needed to fund the war, so we got some dope from Colombia, we got some from here, and we dropped that shit off in the States.
It's the laws that are created around it. You know what I mean? Like that's the cold thing about The Color of Law. Like the book The Color of Law is them breaking down the laws that were created in order to fund these ideas. Yep. You know what I mean? Like in order to make more money from the government, they had to put these policies in place that would therefore work against the disenfranchised on this one.
Yeah.
So like everyone that was getting swept up, all these black families that are ruined, the fact that black families for the most part will be living in the ghetto, close to a plant that is eating away at their health, like all this type of things, like all these things that have come to play. The fact that you look at a protest the way that you look at a protest if it's black, as opposed to it being a right of their own for like what went on at the Capitol. You know, like there's a reason why these mentalities are in place, and a reason why it took bro, the fact that the FBI had to put out like, do you know these people, when they have them on camera? You know what I mean? Is them still trying to fight against themselves because it's worked into play that it wasn't supposed to be them.
Yeah.
It was cold looking in the mirror in that particular situation.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Like people like, there were staff that lost their lives because they would not take out a person that looks like them.
Yeah.
It was either you or me, and I chose to be the fucking martyr in this situation.
They still hesitated, and
who hesitates is lost.
When a kid has a cell phone, it ain't even a thought. I just seen another video of a grown ass cop slamming a teenage black girl.
Hey, Jay told you, man. Meet the parents, man. He who hesitates is lost, and you lost in that motherfucking war,
bro. This shit, and so forgive me. I know COVID is killing people. This isn't a direct attack at COVID. This is a direct attack at how disgusting ass Gavin Newsom
what's
is.
What's the old saying, man? You can walk in the street and get hit by a car, fam.
Man.
Bro, what are we doing?
Somebody still got to answer for our annual flu fatalities, our annual overdose fatalities, our annual drunk driving fatalities. Like, it's a whole bunch of shit we have to directly respond to as a means to fucking shutting down the world and stopping people from earning money, which then is causing more deaths from overdose, more deaths from domestic disputes, more deaths from fucking suicide, more deaths from alcoholism. Fam, what is going on? I feel like that's a fair fucking question. And then when you see goofy shit like Wall Street, which Robinhood and the influx of users is a direct result of motherfuckers being at home and trying to find other means of income, then you go, we're going to shut that down too. I'm sorry if it feels connected, people. This is crazy.
Yeah, the power regulation coming. It might be already here.
Come on.
Like, they gonna do something with this Wall Street shit.
Come on.
But the next target is gonna be this pot and shit, because
100%.
like they were
100%.
giving away free game.
100%.
They don't like the giving away the free game.
Hey,
they can't keep up with it.